This is your announcer, Chuck Landington, welcoming you to the Metal Injection Livecast. This week, Vince Neil revealed his revolutionary weight loss technique. It's quite something. Really, what you do is perform so poorly that nobody books your solo act anymore. Then you can't afford food. Presto. You just lost a bunch of weight. The Metal Injection Livecast starts now.
Sound advice from Chuck Landington. Welcome to the Metal Injection Livecast. It's Rob with a halo of light above me. Hope
Jesus, Rob.
And I want to wish everyone a Shana Tova, or just say Shana Tova. It's Rosh Hashanah, which is why Noah can't join us. She's with her blood family as opposed to her podcast family. But I'm here. It's Rob, here with Sid.
Hello.
Here with 3D. And we have a very special guest joining us here at the top of the show. He is the most revolutionary force in corpse entertainment. He's the necrosexual. Welcome, Necro. Sorry, the necrosexual.
Gotta get it right.
There's your redemption. You fucked up my tagline.
Wait, no, you're right. What's the tagline?
You should know this, Rob. You like pro wrestling.
I'm confusing my pro wrestling tagline.
The most electrifying man in corpse entertainment. Close enough,
I
baby.
said the most revolutionary force. I'm mistaking my Rock catchphrases with my Vince McMahon catchphrase.
You were doing the old Coliseum video intro on the VHS tape.
Yes, that's what it was. Necro, it's great to have you. You're joining us from some sort of cave in Philadelphia. And very happy to have you back on the show. How has life been?
It's been grim, baby.
Very, very nice, very on brand. And now, since the time that we spoke, you have a successful band named after yourself, so you get all the money. And so that's exciting. And you just put out a brand new EP, which is called Seeds of Seduction. You can get it on Bandcamp. It's not yet on Spotify. I like that. You got to make people work for it.
Support the artist, baby. Yeah. Seeds of Seduction, a meat platter, a black metal and speed metal excess.
Yeah.
To you by me.
So it's a very suggestive album cover. I want to load it up for our viewers here watching on the video stream on our Patreon and on the live feed. So
steal your loins.
Now, first of all, so why did you start doing the band? When did that happen?
That happened in 2015, and it was something that when you hear the call to rock, you got to answer. I heard a vacuum, and there was a lack of good, heartfelt, electrifying, seductive, high energy, macho, theatrical, black metal music. And what better person to fill that vacuum than me? So it took a while. We had to find and procure the right musicians who can keep up with my level of riffs, as well as my debauchery on stage. And we did it. So better late than never, baby. I'm leaning into this midlife crisis with one hell of a solo project.
You can't be old enough for a midlife crisis yet. Come on.
Yeah. How old is necrosexual?
It's there, baby. I'm in my Jesus year. The final days of my Jesus year. Yeah, it's coming up to a close. So Virgo season, baby.
Happy almost birthday.
Oh, same. Talking to another Virgo over here. Just celebrated.
That's why we get along so well.
So here is. Oh, I can't share it. Hold on one moment.
What? Is it too grim?
It's too grim.
Breaking Zoom.
The censors are after us.
We must summon the meat platter.
Summon it, Rob. Come on.
Give me a moment to set it up.
Are we going to have to make Necro just like show us manually from his compound? If he has. There it is. Oh, my goodness.
That's not the cover.
No.
Available on my Bandcamp. Order it. I'll sign it for you or your family or your perverted friends. So it's a real hit.
And you don't sign that
T-shirts.
And do you sign that with a pen, or do you dip the head of your penis in blood and sign it that way?
That's for you to find out, baby.
You got to pay for that.
Free. Yeah, all right.
It's worth it.
All right, I think I got it here.
All right. Now I'm
To all the
excited.
necromaniacs watching at home, steel yourselves, gird your loins, prepare to probably have a raging heavy metal heart on as soon as Rob flashes this image on the screen.
Okay, it looks like I would have to.
Oh, come on, Rob.
We'll add it in post.
Sorry, let's see if this works.
Hey,
You see it?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
look at all those supporters. Look at all those supporters, baby. I mean, $12 on Bandcamp Friday. I'm living the dream.
All right. So for those of you on the audio feed, the cover art, it reminds me of Accept, but not Accept, but in the other direction, in the sense that it's very clearly, it's very clearly necrosexual's crotch, and the man's got a little fuzz, and then where you would expect his winky is a giant piece of red meat. Is this a New York strip? Is this a flank?
Skirt
pastrami.
steak?
I think it was a sirloin.
The sirloin.
I do have to say my apologies to Frank, but I made sure not to waste any parts of the photo shoots. That was my dinner, just getting a little extra seasoning from the necrosexual's loins.
Oh, that's good. So you didn't kill this cow in vain. You actually consumed the protein from it.
I use every part of my photo shoots.
Did you also eat the chains and the rope, or what did you do with those?
You can make those. Those are going to make their appearance again in my upcoming music video.
Ooh.
And I don't want to spoil too much for it, but maybe we created the motion picture version of that album cover. So that's going to be coming soon. Just a little taste of what's to come.
So did the sirloin
Something's
steak
coming.
get prepared by catering and shared by everybody, or was it just?
No, it's just me. Nobody.
I got you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now-
I mean, what can we say? It's like the most iconic album cover of all time, and I was so flattered at Metal Injection for sharing that next to Eddie, because you have on one hand Iron Maiden's new album, and on the same day you had the Necrosexual's new album. A dangerous meeting, you could say.
I don't think Eddie had any the daring to put any meat on his body during that album cover shoot. So
I'm an artist.
yeah,
I'm an artist, baby.
damn right.
I'm trying to queue up that. Every week we of course have on Fridays
Day.
we have a column every Friday for the releases out that week, and our wonderful writer Daniel Cordova made sure to spotlight Necro right next to Iron Maiden. Here, you can see it. I hope you can see it.
I'm gonna send him an autographed steak in the mail.
Now, how does it feel to have a steak up against your crotch?
There are barriers used.
Oh,
Oh, showing us behind the curtain here.
A little bit
literally
behind
the meat curtain.
The
the
beef.
meat curtain, yeah. Not as bad as you might think. Let's say that.
Okay. And I guess there's a hot beef injection joke in there somewhere, but we don't have time for that.
Yeah, life is short, baby.
Now, are you playing shows? Do you feel comfortable playing shows? What's the status of the band?
Yeah, the musical endeavor, Necrosexual, rocking and rolling, taking a slow, metered approach, but we have one on November 12th in Philadelphia with a killer space rock band known as Book of Worms, good friends of mine. And we did a show at the end of July. It was completely cathartic. People were moshing their faces off, losing their minds. So it feels damn good to be back out on stage. And a lot of Seeds of Seduction was about just the call to want to rock and the feeling to be on stage. It's the most intoxicating high. And throughout the whole lockdown, what else could I do than just be alone with my insanity and trying to focus my creative process, thinking about getting back on stage and rocking out. So it feels damn good to be back in the saddle, even if it's a little bit tentative and ginger as the world slowly opens up.
Well, I would imagine with the pandemic, you'd be very turned on because there's way more people dying and more people to be attracted to as a necrosexual. No?
I do prefer people with a pulse. I think necrosexual, when it started off, there was, of course, the necrophilia element of it. I have the song Dead Sexy, which is from the perspective of a corpse, because I did want to have it be somewhat consensual in this day and age that we're living.
That's good.
Yeah, establishing consent with the dead. But I do, necrosexual, you have the necro, you have the dead things, you have the metal things, you have the satire, and then you have the sexual, which is my wild and crazy personality and dark humor. And so that's really what the name necrosexual means. It's like my two halves coming to form the meaty whole.
But also you like fucking corpses. That's just like a byproduct.
I mean, I wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
That's sexy. So, yes, the chapter has been written.
But you don't want a COVID corpse because their pulmonary system, like they won't have the stamina to take what you have to give them.
They won't have the pulse either.
Yeah.
They're dead.
Yeah. But that's all right.
I always joke that Rod Stewart has that song Maggie May, and I feel like that song is really about necrophilia because it's like, wake up, Maggie May, I got something to say to you, but
yeah,
she's dead, Rod.
The original working title was Maggot May, and the record label made him change it.
There we go. Yeah, it was
fucking
a different
labels.
time. Yeah, I know a secret.
Oh, yeah, that he fucks dead people. Now,
some guys have all the luck,
Also, I want to say, speaking of The Departed, I do have to say, rest in peace, Michael K. Williams.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
yes, no jokes there. That's a very tragic death, and it's very sad. And I don't know. It didn't come out like how exactly he died. There was just a story in the Post that there was drug paraphernalia found, but I do want to just take a moment to talk to any folks listening that like to expand their mind to maybe take a break from the cocaine and the heroin right now because there's fentanyl in it, and or get those fentanyl test strips and be safe about it if you're going to do it. I don't want to tell you how to live your life, but be careful out there.
It's always good.
We love you. What's that?
You use the fentanyl test strips, Rob?
I have not. No, I am abstaining from the hard drugs until the fentanyl is gone.
Until.
Exactly. I'm not going to say I'm never, ever going to do cocaine or heroin. Well, heroin probably I'm never going to do unless I get some sort of life debilitating disease where I know I'm going to die. Then I'm just going to go out shooting up heroin.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not. Yeah, exactly. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. Cocaine, maybe. We'll see. It depends if it's at a party, if I trust the person, and if the whole fentanyl thing died down. Right now, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, Rob is what we call rock star sober.
Yeah.
I don't really drink. I just smoke pot. That's my vice, and maybe do some shrooms sometimes.
And you just like hang out in an accountant's office, apparently.
That's right. I am getting my taxes done right now. That's as I'm doing the show. I am on remote, and then this is the only quiet room where I could broadcast from.
Are you going to go through some of those binders later in the show? Just read aloud from the pages of whatever is behind you.
Maybe we can get an expose on somebody's books here. You don't know.
Yeah.
do we maybe some modern sound reproduction books or some? Let's see, what do we got here?
I thought that's what we were doing on the show.
Oh, there we go. All right. One guy we rag on the show here, or feature spotlight, is Vince Neil. And
what's he up to?
We'll talk about that in a minute. But Necro, what are your thoughts on Vince Neil? Do you
Hey,
draw any inspiration from him?
Of course, I love fucking Motley Crue, and I'm rooting for the guy.
You fucked Motley Crue?
No, I love Motley Crue.
Oh, you said I love fucking Motley Crue, and I was like,
I
oh,
love
wow.
fucking. Yes,
I mean, it plays into the necrosexual thing because
Right, of course.
They're almost
Mick
dead. I was
Mars.
gonna say, you said you don't actually like to fuck corpses, so you may not have much time to fuck Motley Crue.
hopefully they're here for a while. But Vince Neil, in a way, my heart goes out to the guy because he's getting it from both sides. People are giving him shit about his appearance, and people are also giving him shit about his performance. And the dude's just trying to live his life. So, in the name of the Motley Crue legacy, and I hope in the name of putting on a good show for the fans that still want to see him, and maybe see the day where he can sing a chorus without having to rely on his backup band, I hope that the guy, gets it together and keeps rocking and rolling for a few more years.
So you think that's something he could recapture?
I've seen crazier shit, dude. People have come back from crazier crazier things. Like, I'm thinking about DDP Yoga, the guy that couldn't even walk. And then he gets hulked up with DDP and he's able to run. So never say never.
This is a great point.
Yeah. I mean, of course, with look at Jake the Snake Roberts, another story. Guy, Scott Hall. A lot of pro wrestlers I'm drawing from, but I feel
can they sing? That's the question.
Better than Vince Neil.
At least try to sing. At least try to hit the choruses. The same thing happened when I saw David Lee Roth. The guy, he sang the verses, but his backup band did all the choruses. And that's how a lot of Van Halen songs are. But at least make an effort to.
Well, Neil, he also has backing tracks we've seen at recent shows. It's not just his band; it's just his. But you make a good point. I think Vince Neil should hook up with DDP and do some DDP yoga. That's the best way to get into shape.
We just saw some kind of Instagram post of something where he was like doing crunches or whatever, right?
Well, that's what I wanted to play here. He posted a video. Vince Neil did. And the caption is "Trying it all." And here's the thing:
man who has tried it all.
Yeah,
like trying it all except diet and exercise.
trying to avoid diet and exercise. Just like I said in my famous song, "Hubba hubba hubba hubba, feel good." Hubba hubba hubba.
He was in some revolutionary state-of-the-art like fat burning device that looks kind of like the things they have at Planet Fitness in the Red Room, right?
Right.
I'm loading it up right now.
How to work your abs when you don't want to do any work whatsoever.
Do you guys see it?
Yes.
He's giving the thumbs up.
Great. Try it all. Check out M Sculpt Neo Abs. They say it's 20,000 crunches in 30 minutes. Hashtag M Sculpt Neo. Hashtag M Sculpt Partner. So this is an ad. Hashtag more muscle, less fat.
I think you just answered your question. It's might be some cahoots going on.
Yeah.
Here's the video he posted. And look, here's the thing. If the whole internet is ragging on me about my weight and my appearance, I feel like I'd be a little more self-conscious than this to post something like this. But God bless you, Vince Neil. Thanks for the content. Go ahead, Darren.
I think also the company, I'm thinking from their perspective, like, aren't they a little worried that he's going to endorse this and then like 3 weeks later he's still as big as he looks like a sofa still? And then they like
I think what they think is like, oh, look at this guy, he's lazy and he's getting into shape. I'm lazy, I need to get into shape. Let me try this M Sculpt.
Sure, if it works, but if you see Vince Neil like 2 weeks later and he's still like,
I feel like once you watch this video you'll be convinced. Here we go.
Fair enough.
First you see him doing crunches with his dogs running up to him.
So this is like before the product when it was hard. It sucks, right?
Yeah. Also, it's like if you're serious about working out, keep the dogs out of the room. They're just like they're not helping.
Well, Rob,
now,
are you sitting down? I got some news for you. He's not serious.
And then this very freaky selfie shot where you see all the different nose jobs that he's had.
Dog just rips his nose off of his.
The dog is very attracted to his scent because he smells like 5 different people. It's like a smorgasbord. Right.
So I guess that was the before. Here's the after.
Oh, well over 10,000 crunches right now. This thing is what you call killing it. It really.
It looks like he's pregnant, doesn't it?
I don't understand what it is.
It's a band that you put around your torso that kind of sends shocks that essentially mimics doing a crunch.
How much does this cost? What's the retail?
We'll look. No, it's not you go into a office.
Oh, you can't do this at home?
I don't believe so. No,
not us plebeians. We can't do it.
Because
I remember
the aesthetics company in LA.
Huh.
Good.
I remember
there was a machine I remember seeing like infomercials where you put these two things, but I think that got outlawed because it was so.
Necro, what were you saying?
I just remember back in like the early, maybe 2002, 2003, there was a special on VH1 about like getting Vince Neil back in shape. And he had like, plastic surgery done, a little touch up, and he wrote a new song and he was back on it, and like 20 years later, it's just like time is repeating with everything. So I hope that he gets back and is rocking and rolling and singing. Let's get your voice in shape. Your body is your body. Be who you are. But
I remember that as well. Thank you for bringing that up. Well, we'll talk about that in a second, but let's just watch the rest of this video. Oh boy! And then, doesn't he look like he's sick here? Like here he is on the machine. There's the ab crunch thing.
It does look like a hospital situation.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, why would you post? This is so unflattering. I guess you post it for the money.
Yeah.
You're getting strong. It's amazing how this gets you strong quick.
Wow, so it's getting you strong.
Is it giving you a blowjob?
Yes.
Yeah,
It might be.
It's real strong.
Who
That would
is
explain
talking?
a lot. If it's a blowjob.
Maybe his wife. Boom. Thumbs up. So I remember that VH1 thing. I believe they were trying to get Motley Crue back together. All right.
Was it for Bands Reunited?
Maybe, but like, yeah, the whole thing was like Vince Neil has to get in shape. He needs to get plastic surgery. And part of the plastic surgery was he got a nose job.
Well,
I
Rob,
remember.
What was that company called? BTL Athletics?
BTLA?
Body by BTL.
I think maybe he signed up thinking it was BLT Athletics.
Oh no!
Eat a sandwich and lose weight. Is it possible? Is he dyslexic?
I'm a member of that one.
Me too.
It's delicious.
It's like
So
it's like doing 20,000 crunches when you eat a chicken Caesar club. It's
That
it's
bacon is
fantastic.
very crunchy.
Yeah.
So they don't provide prices for this thing. But we
Rob,
can
you
watch
gotta
a little.
call him up. Get him on the line right now. Is that allowed? Can we do that? Can we?
You have to find a provider. They're
And
not
you were
gonna-
just in LA, Rob. You could have done this. You could.
I'm sure. I'm in New York. I'm sure they have this in New York as well. There's just as many superficial people.
But you wouldn't have laid on the same fucking gurney that Vince Neil had just laid on. Imagine that.
Is that something I want though?
Yes, for sure.
I don't know.
Missed opportunity.
Necro, would you do it? I mean, you're a man that stays in shape.
I try to. It's tough, man. Even the pandemic. It's been a weird year. There's of course the constant temptation of boxed wine and prosciutto. Shit's getting real, but I would definitely like try to absorb some of the Motley Crue powers from Vince Neil. Get some crew all over you.
So you like the prosciutto, not the gabagoo.
I like them all. It's dangerous, I think I'm staying away from the fentanyl stuff, but in my family, they have a history of prosciutto overdoses.
Yeah, just cured meat problems. Just too much salt in the system.
The Italian disease.
That should be the next album cover. Is the prosciutto loincloth?
Yeah.
Every cover should just be a different type of meat.
Yes.
Processed meat.
Yeah, it'd be a meatography. The whole platter, baby.
And then you can get all the albums and it'll be like a flip book. You just watch your penis like change into different kinds of meat.
Like the Very Hungry Caterpillar with album covers.
Sign me up.
Yeah, baby.
All right. My internet lag there. I hope that saved for the archive listeners. We'll have to we'll have to hope and pray for that one. So yeah, that was Vince Neil. Bless his heart. He can, and I think the reason people are ragging on him, it's not just because he's keeping going. I think it's just because of the price of these reunion shows. It's like they're setting a high standard.
It's like Man-O-War money we're talking here.
It's more. I think nosebleeds. The worst seats were like over $100. That's like how much money Necrosexual has made in full from his new EP sale.
Jesus.
In 10 years.
The internet's ragging on Necrosexual. What the fuck, Rob?
Get in line, buddy. That's nothing new.
Oh.
Want to give a shout out to the comment boards and Metal Injection. Keep it supportive, guys. You're always motivating me to live well.
My God.
So
People.
there was a story today that the bassist of Greyhawk stopped the shooting before it even began. So he was about to perform at a metal show at the venue, The Shredder in Boise, Idaho.
You ever
And
been
he
there,
saw
Necro?
I would love to.
Get that on the tour routing.
He saw
Robert.
Uh-oh.
Rob's turn to speak now.
Hey, Rob. You all right?
It looked like he's still moving. Is he having a stroke? I think Rob is having a stroke.
Oh. Yeah, yeah, he's just standing still. It's not the video being broken. He's just sitting there agape.
There you go.
There we go.
I think my internet is being a little snobby right now.
Did you do some fentanyl laced coke while we didn't see there in
Jesus
the
Christ.
box?
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. That's nothing to joke about.
He fed some into the CD-ROM drive on his computer that he's using.
No, so he stopped the shooter before he could go because he saw him making handgun symbols, making a finger gun motion, pretending to shoot people in the crowd. And he said he got a weird feeling, and then he confronted him, and he
wait, the guy
found
had
a gun on him. Yep.
So was he like
I saw him
practicing?
reach behind. He was on stage and he saw the guy doing the finger motion. And then he went and confronted him. And he says, I saw him reach behind his back and grab the gun. That's when I moved in. No other options went through my head. The gun was in the pocket of his pants and he shot me through his pants. He got me in the upper thigh.
God.
Damn.
Wow. Thankfully, he's recovering and the assailant has been captured by police.
Awesome.
So go check out Greyhawk.
Yeah, heavier than a speeding bullet, baby. Good dudes. Of course, the bass player saves the day.
If only this guy was in Dimebag's band back in the day, we'd still have Dimebag.
Oh, he was in
Yeah.
Damage Plan.
Yeah.
Well, something funny did come out of this, in that somebody tagged Phil Labonte
Oh no.
in the story, pro gun rights advocate Phil Labonte, and somebody tagged him and goes, "Yo, bro, have you seen this?" And this is, I want to be clear, this is on the metal injection story. So they replied to the metal injection story, tagging Phil Labonte. "Yo, bro, have you seen this?" And then Labonte goes, "I saw the story on Loudwire. I don't click that site's links since they try to get us dropped from our label."
Did you do
And
that?
then the person says, "Oh shit, I didn't know." And then Labonte goes, "Yeah, they're bad people." Maybe I did it. I might have said something on Twitter. Like I might have tagged the label being like, "Hey, you support this? You're okay with that?" That
What
might have
was-
been the extent of it.
What was the thing that you did that?
It's
Probably
I
just
don't
like
even-
they're single.
But I think he might be confusing us with Metal Sucks. No, I don't think it was a single. I think he said something stupid about dropping F-bombs and not fuck, like the gay F-bomb. Something about that or something else. I'm not, it's been so long.
And he's
But
done so
it's-
many stupid things. It's hard.
Yeah, so it's nice to see he still keeps a grudge, though. I'm flattered. Necro, who in the metal world do you have grudges with?
Well, if you remember, Rob, a couple years ago, I did call up and I called out freaking, what's his name? Papa John from Ghost. And it was like the bat signal was shown for really butthurt Ghost fans. And it had a reaction. And that was 5 years ago. Time has passed. And I do want to say to Tobias Forge and Ghost fans that your music still is disappointing. You should spend more time writing memorable riffs instead of dressing up like Catholic priests and, religious cosplay. If I wanted to hear spooky disco, I'd listen to ABBA. All right.
And they just
Wow.
put something new out, so you actually can.
Yeah. Or the Bee Gees. And also Corey, fucking Corey Taylor, your new mask does not, I'm disappointed in your new mask. All right.
Let me load
Life
that
is
up.
too-
So
Yeah. Life
go
is too
go
short.
go off.
Life is too short to get on stage looking like salad fingers. Unless Slipknot is entering like an early 2000s meme era of their band, but I don't think Corey Taylor's ego would allow for that. So I'm not disappointed. Or I'm sorry, I'm disappointed in your new mask.
Yeah.
Step it up, baby.
The next tour they're gonna be good guy Greg. That's gonna be his new costume. Since they're doing a meme tour. While you're on the subject, I want to say also Fred Durst's new costume really shitty. Like he just looks like Santa Claus. Did you see that mask he wears? Sid?
That's not a man. That's his face.
Oh, really?
He's
That's
wearing a
just-
wig.
He's just old now.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, then I take it back. I thought he went to Party City and just got a weird Santa Claus.
It's that same thing Vince Neil was doing.
Yeah.
Here's Corey Taylor. Oh, that's not Corey Taylor. Here's Corey Taylor. That's his new mask.
Salad fingers.
Oh my god.
Why? Why? You're one of the biggest bands in the world, and that's what you come up with.
It looks.
Yeah, it's very minimalist.
The costume designer of the Jim Carrey movie The Mask put
Yes.
his mask in the washing machine too long, and it dried out the color.
It's like
It's-
one of the.
I think it looks fine. Go ahead.
Actually, Rob, I think it looks smoky.
It's like if Jim Carrey from The Mask was in My Chemical Romance. Is what it looks like to me. That makes it even worse. Very bizarre.
I've never seen that
Sorry.
before. It does look like salad fingers.
It's like one of the direct Netflix Hellraiser movies.
Low
Definitely not
budget.
the original. Yeah.
They just put all the effects money into the box, and they couldn't like do masks after that.
So
I
how,
think it looked.
He looks
How
like a
often?
grouper.
how often does he change masks? Is this like for every new album there's a new mask, or does he go like 5 years?
Okay, yeah.
with
So
a mask?
it's basically every new album, but they haven't put out a new album. This is his second mask on this current album cycle, because the previous mask got a very negative response because it looked like an empty water gallon on his face.
Could we see that one? I want to know what to compare.
Let's see.
See
His
if this
previous
is a
match
step
was
up or
Bad
down.
Luck Brian.
Their music has already been disappointing for 20 years, but their masks at least have a good visual department. Jeez.
That's the one thing
Oh, that's not true. They've been great.
Mm.
I'm actually thinking about leaving my house to see them because I really need that ask. Like their live show, I feel is incomparable. It's always very good.
So wait, are they busking? Like, can you just walk down to the train station and see them play? Or...
No, they're doing an amphitheater tour.
Oh, you have to actually like go somewhere.
Yeah, I have to leave my house for it.
Oh boy.
So this was his mask
Oh, no.
before this. It did not look good. It really just looked like a water gallon.
That is, come on, what is he doing?
Well, here's the thing. Like in the
It
music
makes him
video,
look fat.
yeah.
It makes
See,
him
in the
look so
music
fat.
video, this is the music video, and I think the intention is it's supposed to be like one of those masks, like faceless masks, so it could be anything. But
What?
in a live setting, it just looks like he just looks bloated.
He looks like Weird Al in the Fat video.
That
He
looks
looks
like,
like-
like Leatherface, the later
Yes.
movies. Yeah.
Leather-
Yeah, like here, this on the left, this right here, this is just it's not working.
It's
Wow.
Weird Al.
So, yeah,
in
he
the
had to
Fat
change it up.
video.
Or the wrestler Raven, like present day.
Oh,
It's like if Leatherface just like let himself go a little bit.
Yeah.
I think
That
his first mask was still the best one, dude. From
this is
back-
the worst iteration of this new mask. It just looks terrible.
Did he also shorten his arms like surgically in order to?
It's
Does this look-
strange.
Jesus.
I like this mask too, the one with the like it looked like he had a face on the last album
Yeah,
cycle.
it
I
looks
thought
like
that was
Mick
a good one.
Jagger.
Wait, I thought it was Mick. I thought Rob clicked the wrong. The
Dude,
wrong
that
Google
mask
search.
that mask looks like somebody that works at like a Halloween attraction, like one of the scary Halloween ones.
It kind of looks like the devil from the Tenacious D movie. Also.
I could see that. Played by Dave Grohl, right?
Oh,
Yep.
is that right? I
think so.
didn't know that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, do we think Corey Taylor is like feels guilty about how handsome he is, and that's why he insists on wearing these masks?
Or maybe being handsome is not like conducive to what gimmick they're going for. too.
Yeah. I want you to like me for my lyrics, not for my striking, rugged good looks.
Yeah, I don't think he wants you to think, oh, he's handsome. He wants you to think, oh, that's disgusting.
But then when
That's
he's with Stone Sour,
disgusting.
then he wants you to think, God damn, that guy's hot.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still he's a very fragile ego type of guy, and he wants you to like when you take the mask off, you're like, oh, he's not that bad, right? Maybe he does not confident.
When
That's
is
a
he
good
on the
point.
show, Rob? We could ask him these questions. I want to ask.
Yeah,
him
we're
the
gonna have him
hard-hitting
on next week
questions.
to make
Oh,
fun of
nice.
his mask.
We'll just have him like workshop new masks for us, and we'll tell him which one to go with.
Well,
He's not gonna be on. Just his mask is gonna be on.
He should go. That might be quite an interview.
Does he go to different people to design these masks? Does he have like one go-to designer? How does this work?
Well, that last mask
You don't
got
have
a
to
lot
yell
of
at me.
hype.
We're all friends.
Sorry.
Here. Jesus Christ.
That last mask was designed by Tom Savini, the famous horror makeup artist. So, like, he actually paid big money for a mask that he ended up nixing. I'm not
He
sure who
ended up as
designed the new one.
Nixon. He had a Nixon mask on. Is that
He
what
did
said?
do it. Yeah, it was like
that would be amazing.
it was like the Point Break scene,
Yes,
the robbery.
I
They all come
law
out as
crook.
dead presidents.
Wait and bleed.
He should just do that. Like, do a tour where every night it's like a different, like, known mask. Like, you could do the Scream mask one night,
Yeah.
the Nixon mask, you could
Elsa
do the
from
horse
Frozen.
head mask. Yeah.
Just Elsa.
Very, very popular Halloween costume.
For the kids.
Necro, have you considered incorporating more masks into your live setup? You know, for the licensing.
Lots of dumb.
I got my-
Come on.
I got a mask right here, baby. This is my canvas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Come on, Rob.
I do like what you're doing with the corpse paint, though. Changing it up. Got a little like Road Warrior style here going.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
into it.
like the different phases of was it Picasso?
And what's this beautiful drawing behind you? Who painted you?
That's from one of my fans. A fan sent that to me. So shout out to Daniel Deruda. Available.
That's awesome.
To paint you, yeah. Right? That's some dedicated necromaniacs right there, baby.
One of your dozen fans.
Dozens and dozens of
Dozen.
necromaniacs. Yeah.
I joke with Necro because we're good friends, and I know he enjoys the hazing. I hope.
I guess we'll find out if he stops replying to your texts after this.
Well, awesome. Well, Necro, thank you so much for coming on board. We love hanging out with you.
Yeah, it's been real. It's been great.
I don't want to keep you too long. Seeds of Seduction is available on your Bandcamp. Check it out, folks. We have a song from one of his old albums on our Spotify playlist, Metal Injection Livecast Music Break. So you can sample a little Necro. Necro, any plugs before we let you go?
Yeah, I just want to say, keep those horns raised, keep it sexy, and all you necrosexual freaks and freaks waiting to listen, check out my new album, Seeds of Seduction. You can get it on cassette from Folk Banger Records, limited to 100 copies. If it's on Folk Banger, you know it's a banger. And I'll see all you in hell.
Oh my God, what a pro. Thank you, Necrosexual.
Yeah.
All right, I'll put you back. I'll kick you out of the room here. Get out of here, Necro.
That was great.
What a lovely fella.
Not a corpse fucker, we learned here. That's
Yeah.
just a
Mhm.
name.
It was from the POV of the corpse. So the corpse was a living person fucker.
Sid, it was a little off-putting how you kept trying to force him to talk about it. He was so obviously trying to distance himself from the corpse fucking, and you just kept hammering it.
I kept hammering that corpse.
Yes. Hammering
Yeah, you
him
beat
into
it like a
being
dead corpse.
Wake up, maggot. I think I got something to say to you.
If Maggot May isn't a song already, somebody needs to record that.
Yeah.
It's too good.
That's my new, we mentioned this last week, my new cover band, Cannonball Corpse.
Yeah.
Where we do, it's like Andrew WK, but like Cannibal Corpse style. So it's just going to be all like party songs, but, you know, with growl vocals and slightly altered happy lyrics.
I love it. Well, if you want to hear some new music, Rotted Through is releasing their debut album, The Depths, on September 10th on all major platforms. The Depths is a dark net-inspired horror show that gets deliberately heavier the deeper you descend. It's making me burp. It's making a burp descent into my body.
Yeah,
But anyway, Get your pre-order of The Depths by Rotted Through today on iTunes, Bandcamp, or rottedthrough.com.
Do it.
EEW. I wanted to ask him some more stuff about wrestling, though. There's a lot going on.
Oh, yeah. Should we bring him back on?
Do you want to?
Out of his makeup is just like the normal
Yeah,
people watching
just-
wrestling.
Let's see if he's still on. Let's see.
It's all right.
It'd be cool if we just had a 24/7 Zoom hookup to him.
Uh,
We could just check in whenever.
God.
Spy on his
no.
room here.
This could be a violation if he's like all of a sudden naked or something.
Cut it out.
No, it's not. Bless his heart. But yeah, no, Necro's a big wrestling fan. There's some very interesting wrestling news I shared in our group chat earlier
Just
today,
now?
where WWE has a deal with Netflix, and their next film, and this is a film, I'm going to read this, starring Undertaker and New Day, an interactive horror movie titled Escape the Undertaker is coming to Netflix on October 5th. Let me just finish this.
I have to cut you off. I'm sorry. Because this is important to say right now. Without hearing a single thing about this movie, this is already a Patreon episode.
Yes, 100%.
I don't need to hear a single second of plot. Yeah. What you just said, that's enough. Now, please continue. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the plot. The Undertaker has set a trap for the New Day at his mansion with supernatural challenges. It's up to viewers to decide their fate. So,
can I decide the fate of whether this gets released or not?
It's been decided.
I know. I guess I'm too late. I missed the interactive session there.
I have to say, on the one hand, my initial reaction is, wow, this sounds dumb. On the other hand, my reaction is, wow, I think I might need to watch this.
Oh, I definitely want to watch it, but I'm sure it's dumb.
Even without the Patreon element, I'm just like, oh, might want to watch it.
Now, if we did this as a Patreon episode, we're going to be like, now we have to choose while we're watching. You can't just let it play, right?
I think it probably auto picks if you don't pick something within a certain amount of time. It probably defaults to something.
Yeah, that's how that Black Mirror episode was.
But we could just vote. Like in the moment, we could just like vote which way we want to go.
Sure.
We could do like 8 different Patreon episodes just with the different variables.
That's true.
Just really milk this.
Well, I want to, now that we're talking about our Patreon, if you want to support the Metal Injection Livecast, you love what you hear, you love all the archives, you want to hear a little more, our Patreon is the way to go. $5 a month gets you 2 bonus episodes a month, gets you access to the video versions of our podcast, and it gets you access to some other fun extras like a TV column that Sid does. And we're also doing a hangout on Zoom for our patrons. And if you happen to be in the Discord, we might send a link as well.
Yeah.
And that is this Sunday, right? What time is it?
5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday the 12th.
And do you want to say what our special twist is that we're doing that show?
So it's a live cast show and tell. So if you can join us this Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern time to hang out with us, and we hope you can, we ask that you bring a silly video or something to share with the class that we could all watch and giggle about.
Yeah.
And so that's this Saturday. And so you can get all that fun on our Patreon, patreon.com/Metal Injection Livecast. We posted a bonus episode just last week. It is the Steven Seagal movie Out for Justice, something we've been talking about on the show for years.
Great.
We watched it. It was so fun. It was exhilarating to hear some of these lines that we've been playing. Darren, cue some of these classics up. And I think you will definitely enjoy kicking back and watching along with us. It's about a 90-minute movie. We watch it along with you. It's like we're hanging out watching the movie together.
Anybody see Richie? Yeah, but he's not here. And you know why he's not here? Why? Because he's a chicken shit fucking pussy asshole. You know?
You can hear all that and more. Patreon.com/Metal Injection Livecast. If you don't have the $5 a month, still want to support us, we love you anyway. You can always support by following us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Just search Metal Injection Livecast. Write us a review on your podcast listening platform of choice and join our Discord. Hang out with us. We have a 24/7 Discord chat, a Discord server going with multiple chat rooms for different topics. Sid's always in there. Darren's in there. I try to pop in. Hang out with us. It'll be fun.
Tell one of your fucking jadruls to come and get it, all right?
So once again, this Sunday, we're doing a Patreon Discord hang. If you're in one of those, you can get the link. It'll be fun. And we love you.
Also say that doing Out for Justice was a very different experience because it's the first time, I think, unless I'm forgetting something, that we watched like a legitimately good movie. We usually watch horrible shit and we dunk on it. This was also something we did dunk on this movie, but it is a legitimately great movie.
It is the best movie I feel that we've reviewed. I can't think of one that I've liked as much.
As far as watch-alongs, we have reviewed some good movies like Uncut Gems, but that was a panel discussion.
Right. That's what I meant. Yeah. The movies that we watch live as it goes, this was the best one. Because also we did a roundtable about that movie Cube that you recommended, Darren. That was a great movie. I really, really enjoyed that one.
Uncut Gems.
Uncut Gems was really good.
Bubba Hotep.
Yeah, there's so much in the archives of our Patreon too that you have access to. You have access to all the bonus episodes, like those reviews that we talked about. We did a Danzig review. We did the Motley Crue movie. We did a bunch of stuff. We did Hulk Hogan's Mr. Nanny, or Santa with Muscles.
Yes, that's right.
Santa with Muscles.
We could do Mr. Nanny next if you want.
Oh God, that might have been the worst one we've ever done. That or Cannibal Holocaust. And Trick or Treat. That was a really fun one for Halloween we did.
What about Kiss Phantom of the Park? That was pretty brutal. What about
many.
Space Jam with LeBron James? That was one of the worst movies.
I can't decide if Kiss Phantom of the Park was the worst or Santa with Muscles was the worst. Probably Phantom, because Santa with Muscles was at least like a coherent movie aesthetically. The plot was terrible, but it was a movie. There was a beginning, middle, and end. This, it just fell off a cliff.
I'm sorry, I got a dissent from you. I have to say, I think Space Jam is the worst movie we've done. Space Jam 2. Just terrible. It's not even like, I mean, it's just so much shit going on. It's like it ceases to function as a movie. It's like 7 movies at once. It's just an assault on your senses.
I guess the thing that sets Space Jam apart, like the Kiss movie, for instance, like I feel like that was just like inept people made a movie and that was the best they can do.
Right.
The Space Jam movie, like all those people were very capable and they just willfully were like, fuck it. This is good enough.
Yeah, it's so disheartening.
This, we advertise the proper intellectual property of HBO and Warner. And good enough. People watch this because it's LeBron James and because it's known property. It's fine. It's just very cynical.
Hey, kids, do you like A Clockwork Orange? We own that.
And now we're going to tape your eyes wide open and make you watch this way shittier thing.
Well, we covered that and a lot of we basically ripped that movie apart for about an hour and a half or more.
I think so.
So I'm not even going to say anymore because I'm ready to do another rant on that movie, and it's so bad. But we said plenty about it.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, that's not a watch along. So you yourself do not have to watch that movie. You could just listen to us talk about it.
We basically go through the movie and summarize how terrible it is. Yeah, scene by scene. So you could learn a lot or a little. That's on our Patreon. Let's see what else is going on.
Whose hot dog is this? Huh? Is it yours?
That's from Out for Justice too. 1, not 2.
Sadly, they never made a sequel to that one. Yeah. Still Out for Justice.
I mean, he's still alive.
I guess it could happen. Yeah.
Come back to Brooklyn.
So I want to talk.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead there.
You mentioned Phil Labonte earlier. Like, I was curious because we didn't go into it too hard, but like, what was his take on the shooting? Like, isn't he pro guns? Was he in favor of the shooter who got stopped? Was he mad that it got stopped?
They impinged on that man's Second Amendment rights.
I think he's rooting for the bassist. He doesn't want people to get shot. He just doesn't want there to be gun laws, and he thinks that they're wasteful and that they're not going to stop anybody.
I don't know that we should blithely assume that he's that sensible, Rob. I'm sorry. You might be ascribing some.
No, I've looked into it. I mean, I've written about it back in the day. Not so much lately. I've been avoiding such topics lately, but
fair enough.
And also, you know, I kind of want to hit him up. Be like, hey man, you want to go to shooting range? I'm into guns now.
Oh yeah, you should link him to that video.
He might have a lot to teach you, Rob.
Would you trust him to not turn the firearm at you?
That's a good point.
Well, you know what? I think if he were, that would expose what a hypocrite he is. So
then you'd be dead.
I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I've accepted death. You know, if I die, I'm all right. I've lived a full life.
And you're okay with dying that way?
Sure, that'd be a fun headline.
The last moment is you hanging out with Phil Labonte? That's how you want to go out?
Well, maybe if I do some heroin first.
Okay.
Laced with fentanyl, then you'd be dying anyway.
Not.
So like him shooting you wouldn't really be the cause.
Yeah.
You could take him to a Schwitz.
Oh,
I missed the Schwitz so bad. COVID has taken away my Schwitz.
I thought you went to one. Didn't you go to one since COVID?
No.
I thought you told the story that you went to one. Am I mixing that up?
I'm like, did I black out?
How
do I not remember this?
I could very well be wrong.
All the Schwitz spots.
you used to go to the pool, but you didn't go to the Schwitz.
Yeah, the pool, yeah. But the Schwitzes were all closed.
Oh, I see.
Just
explain to the newer listeners what a Schwitz is.
A sauna or a steam room is a Schwitz.
It's what the Jews call the Schwitz.
Yes.
Old Jews in New York. I mean, what they call the sauna.
And it's wonderful. I highly recommend it. It's a great stress reliever and detoxifier. Your skin feels great after.
Especially when you start whacking off in there.
What else are you gonna do?
Am I right? Yeah.
How could you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly. You get natural lubricant over there.
By the way, can any of you hear the massive, extensive construction work that's going on above me right now?
No.
Good, because
no.
I'm hearing it. I was a little self-conscious. It's coming over the podcast.
No.
Banging shit and flipping furniture over fucking hacksaws and what the fuck's going on?
Sure someone's not getting murdered? Maybe you need to stop.
It sounds like I need to be like a Dark Fang or whatever that was. It's
Greyhawk.
Greyhawk, right. It sounds like they're sawing manually up there, like on a saw horse.
God damn.
Anyway.
Well, this brings up a very important topic. A TikTok doctor explains why you should never ever sleep naked.
Wait, is that? Do you need a license to become a TikTok doctor? How does that work? What's the vetting process?
Well, you have to become a doctor.
Ken Jeong?
You become a doctor and then you join TikTok. And he's like a famous influencer on TikTok who happens to be a doctor.
Oh boy!
And wrote some books.
You fix like unhealthy TikToks. That's the first thing that occurred to me.
It's Dr. Anthony Yuan. And so here the article goes, while many people sleep in pajamas or a t-shirt and some lightweight shorts, numerous others prefer to feel the night air and the cool sheets on their entire body and sleep in the nude.
No.
These are the people he's talking to, and they really need to they really need to listen. So Dr. Yoon says Dr. Yoon says the average person passes gas 15 to 25 times a day, and this can happen while you're sleeping. And a scientific study proved that every time you pass gas, you are spraying a tiny amount of fecal matter.
Thank you.
This is true, even if it's not a real shart. And the same study shows that your tidy whities will catch all of these particles. So for the sake of your bed partner, sleep with your underwear on.
Yeah. For the sake of yourself too.
Yeah.
You're inserting that back into your nostrils. You walk around
Absolutely.
You ever smell a fart and then you still smell it like 6 hours later? Has that ever happened to you? Or just
6 hours? I don't know.
6 hours.
Sometimes you get a vague glimpse of it throughout the day. And that's because particles get stuck in your nose hairs and they stay there. They get trapped and you keep smelling it and keep smelling it.
Sounds like you got to trim those nose hairs.
I think it just happens to everybody. Everyone has a little cilia in there, you know.
This reminds me back in high school, my friend Anthony, who has been on the show once, he called himself Billy the time he was on the show. It was like years and years ago. But anyways, he turned to me one time, like randomly we were hanging out, and completely serious, asked if I thought he could inadvertently kill himself through the carbon monoxide he releases when he farts while he's sleeping at night. Like, could he get carbon monoxide poisoning and die from his own farts?
I don't think there's carbon monoxide in farts. It's just methane, right? Methane,
Yeah.
primarily methane.
Okay, so maybe that's what he meant. But he was legit worried that he would kill, like if he didn't leave the window open, would he die from his own fart gases?
I think this is a reasonable concern for a 12-year-old.
He wasn't 12. I'm saying he was like 17, 18.
I stand by what I said.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been worried about that. I mean, sometimes I've wanted to die after smelling one of my own farts.
I never had that. I've had farts where like they don't necessarily smell bad to me, but I acknowledge that they probably stink, and I apologize to the people around me. I'm like,
It's
oh, you're
like
not
when
going to
you apologize someone. It's like, I'm sorry you were offended. That's that kind of an apology.
Yeah.
I think the worst kind of farts of my own that I hate. Like I have a certain brand that I like. I know it stinks to other people, but I love how it smells. And then there's other times I eat something and it smells like someone else's fart. Is that anyone ever had done that? Like it smells like you didn't make it.
Like a foreign fart.
Yeah, there's a stranger in your colon.
Those are the ones I cannot stand. I feel like I don't know myself anymore.
I've had ones. I don't know myself. I've had farts where it's just like I said, I'm like, oh, that's a bad one. That is brutal. But
I love those.
Yeah.
I love to kind of wallow in it, you know, like when you're in your room alone and you just go, wow, you know, how did I do that?
Impressive.
I got to tell a story. One time I was on a subway train and it was like peak rush hour. So we're all packed in like sardines, you know, it's like at least 200 people in this car, one subway car. And I ripped ass. Like I was very silent. Like, no way anyone could have heard. It was a complete poofer. Like, but oh my God, it smelled like someone opened up one of those, like the prank, you know, bottles that you throw and it like makes a fart smell, like an artificial one. Chemical and oops, sorry, that was by accident. I hit the space bar. And so all right, and then you see it radiate sort of outward, like you see the first group of people right next to me holding the poles and they start going like, oh, what the fuck? I was all the way at one end of the car, right? But this is the best part. It kept going like it was a tidal wave. Like then the next section of people all turned around like, what the fuck is that? And it went all the way to the other end of the car. I saw people turning their heads and swiveling all the way to the end of the fucking car. I was so proud of myself.
Now let me ask you, did you have to hold back laughter? Was there any reaction from you, or were you trying to be straight-faced?
I'm pretty good at being straight-faced. Yeah, no, I was selling it as if I was not the culprit. Like,
did you act like you also smelled it and were shocked by it?
I didn't fake. No, I didn't project any dishonest reaction, but I didn't react. I didn't also laugh at my production, my handiwork either. Like, I think I just neutrally observed it.
You did not partake in a he who smelt it dealt it situation.
No, I think that's disingenuous. I think that just should be reserved for the most extreme cases, like where if you had farted, you'd really offend somebody.
Yeah.
You really need to, then you should, all right, that's fine. You can lie and say, whoa, what the fuck was that? You know,
where it'd be weird if you didn't react.
Yeah, that too. Yeah. I think that, you know, I'm not a big fan of being dishonest, but I understand that there's times when you have to be dishonest. So when protocol demands it. But in a situation like that, no, just like a scientist. I was just laying back and watching my fucking fart cloud all the way down the Q train subway car.
Fantastic.
This is one of the proudest moments of my life.
For me, I have no shame in admitting a fart, unless.
Well, but on a subway car filled with strangers, I don't think you would.
Yeah, strangers, no.
You might incite a riot. No, I'll tell any of my loved ones that I farted.
So yeah, and in general, like as a man, I feel it's so hard to sleep naked. Just the worst feeling is having like sweaty nuts stuck to my thigh. I don't need that. I need separation there.
I agree with that, and also if I can expand on that, I would say I don't enjoy sleeping naked. I have bad dreams when I sleep naked. I feel like
Really?
I'm like sort of insecure about my body, and I feel like my brain subconsciously incorporates that into bad dreams, and I wind up naked. I have that naked in school dream and all that stuff.
But only when you're actually naked?
Yeah, because I think I'm conscious of it when I go to lay down, and I feel like.
Well, Darren, now I think what you need to do is next Monday, put a notepad by your bed, sleep naked, and then when you wake up, take notes on the crazy dreams you get.
You want to torture me just for show content? That's what.
Yeah, I mean, I've tortured myself plenty for show content.
I mean, he's made us eat holodets. Is this really that much worse?
That's true.
Imagine you dream of holodets.
Oh, that'd be worse than any dream I've ever had.
Imagine it's you naked in holodets, like you're like among the chicken parts. It's just like naked Darren.
God.
That's what the new Matrix sequel is, right?
Aspic Darren.
It's not a battery pod anymore. It's like he wakes up in fucking holodets. They're just Russian machines now.
They're just like all of a sudden Rob opens a fridge and it's just all that. The Matrix is Rob's fridge.
They're using people's bodies to power their jewel pens.
I'm very skeptical about this new Matrix coming out. They're putting a new one out this year, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's coming out later this year.
Beginning of 2022 or this year. Something like that anyway.
I feel this year because it was like on the slate for the free HBO Max movies.
Oh, okay.
And really, I only love the first movie. Like the first movie is one of my top 3 movies of all time.
Wow.
And the second and third movie, while there are parts that I enjoy, and there are some parts in it that I love, there are many parts that I hate and find humorous, like silly, like this is a joke. And the last one especially, I feel, fell off a cliff for me. And I hated the ending. I hated how they wrapped everything up. But with that said, because I love the first one so much, I'm definitely going to watch the new one.
Well,
I feel like I like the first one so much that my brain has wiped out my memory of the second and third one. I don't even remember how they wrapped it up.
If you the robots
spoiler alert
form a giant robot and talk to Neo, and it's just like what?
Rob just
what is ridiculous?
Right through your spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I mean,
first of all, he becomes blind. Remember this? He's fighting machines. And he becomes blind.
I don't.
And he can only see now it through the Matrix. Like he can only see the code. Like he sees shapes and figures.
Oh, that's right.
He wears like a fucking a blindfold everywhere. And they take him he goes to negotiate a truce with the machines to end the war. And they put him on this cross and he's like Jesus. It's like such blatant symbolism. And he's like on this thing like Jesus, spread out with his arms like that. And they just like negotiate this truce. And then like the war with the machines ends. But I like the second one a lot. I think the second one's a really good, like fulfills its function as like the middle bridge, introduces you what the movie had not been. It had been like 4 years since the movie came out, right? This first one. So it's like it's like, okay, this is a brief rundown of where we are, and then some action to get you interested, and then like more story to show you where the shit is going, and then a setup to the last one. And I thought it was fantastic. I love the second one. Third one falls off. I agree with you. It's not the greatest, but there's also some things in it.
I definitely didn't hate the second one at the time. And the end of it with the architect really got my mind going and like, oh, they could go this way. Like the end of it did a good job of getting me hyped for the third one. But I think the third one was so bad that it retroactively made me dislike parts of the second one, because there were these things in the second one where I'm like, oh, I wonder where they're going with that. And it was never followed up on. So it invalidated like the hype of the second one, as we've seen in other things like Lost, kind of
Lost,
same kind of thing there.
I loved Lost all the way through, and now I can't go back and watch it because it's been ruined by the end. Like I exactly what you mean, but I just didn't think the third one was that bad. I thought I was disappointing. I would say that, but I didn't.
I've even tuned in on like TNT when it's on, and like watched, and it's just like, oh no, it's bad. I wasn't silly. Or look, it might be good. Like it's a subjective opinion. Like for me, it's just not what I wanted. I will say.
Fair enough. I like that. I think that number two did a good job. Like it's sort of like The Empire Strikes Back. Like it's not meant to be the action-packed, first introductory one or the climax. It's just meant to be what it is, and it like was great for that. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to rise to that level of like climax to me.
I think to me, like I see, I'll reiterate, I do not remember specifics, but I do remember how I felt after the second one, where it was just like, this would be great if the third one was coming out next month. But it on its own, and when I have to wait like a year or whatever for the next one, it just didn't feel like a full movie. It felt like incomplete. It was just like, it was like the connective tissue between the first and the third one, but on its own, there wasn't enough there. I felt
that makes sense. Well, like if you go Back to the Future, that's the perfect bridge movie because it's just a beautiful, like self-contained, action-packed, like ridiculously funny, awesome movie. If you never saw the first and the third one, it doesn't matter. Like you can enjoy that movie. But if you did see them, there's all these little snippets of things. Like he goes back into the first movie and sees himself.
Yeah.
And, the dance and all that. So like it enhances it if you've seen the other movies, but it's also a self-contained thing. I agree. Like the Matrix isn't really that. Like it's sort of just the middle chapter of 3 movies. But I still like it. I don't know. I thought there's a lot of like deep stuff in there that I was really interested in. But
I thought Back to the Future. Oh, go ahead.
I do wonder, like, if a person who like, was too young or whatever to watch the movies when they came out and just like binges them all in one afternoon, like, and that's the first time they see it, like what their take would be. Like, would they still feel the way we do about the second and third one, or would it make more sense?
That's a great question.
Would it all flow better?
Yeah, because bringing it back to the Lost comparison, I've talked to people that watched Lost, 2-3 years after the series ended, and had no frame of reference to like all the crazy hype, all the theories, and just watch it for what it was. And they really liked it. They were fine with the end. They had
totally see that.
Yeah. I could see when you're binging it, it's a totally different experience. So I'm curious. Let's put it out to our live cast stars. For our younger listeners, if you watched the Matrix trilogy after like 2006 or 2005 or whatever, after all the hype, after all the commentary and all the fan theories, and you just watched it without all of that context, did you like the second and third movies? Let us know. Hate mail at metalinjection.net.
So Rob,
we'd love any feedback there.
I'm sorry. What you said about Lost, though, that people who binge it like it better, that's not really a compliment. I feel like that's more of a dunk, because it's like the more you think about it, the shittier it is. Like if you just turn your brain off and watch it, and Lost is not that type of show. There are other shows where you definitely can turn your brain off and watch it. As a matter of fact, a good one is Wrecked. Did you ever see Wrecked?
No.
They made a sort of a Lost parody where these people are on an island and weird stuff happens, but it's a comedy. But then they veered away. Like the first 4 or 5 episodes are just like really making fun of Lost. And then it just goes into a story about people are on an island and all this stuff happens, and it's way better. And but I think that's like a dumb show where you just binge it, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Lost assaulted you with this means something. This means something. This over here means something. What does it mean? I don't know.
They even had a podcast where the directors would go and be like, no, you do have to pay attention.
But I think that's also part of why binging it after the fact is probably better, because you're removed from all of that outside coverage. You're just watching this TV show and you're putting whatever expectations on it you would naturally have without the producers and the network and the talk show appearances and all that extra shit that when we were watching it in real time built up expectations on our part.
Well, I agree 100% that the better way to watch it is to just bang it out.
Yeah.
I could not agree more, but that lessens it for me. Like, to me, a show that you can watch and pick apart and find layers to it, like The Sopranos or Breaking Bad, is so much better of an
Yeah,
experience.
for sure.
And the second thing is Lost sold itself as
Oh, yeah,
that
exactly.
kind of- so that really detracts from
Yeah,
what it is.
I agree. They
For sure.
kind of leaned into it.
Rob,
Yeah.
you said we're about to say something about Back to the Future, and I think we.
Oh, I was going to say the second one is such a great movie, and what a wonderful sequel. It's so rare that a sequel does as good of a job, or maybe in some facets better. Like I can't say better, but like it's just up there with the first one, and it, like you said, it held its own
Yeah.
on its own. I thought the third one was good, but not as good as the first two.
Agreed.
Because I thought the Western element kind of changed
Yeah.
what the movie was. But the first two were so fun. And I think they did such a great job in the second one of taking real care of the franchise and not just cashing in and offering something new and like doing all the cool stuff that they did in the first one, but in a new way so that it's just as exciting. Because I feel like by the time the second one came out, like Back to the Future Mania was at an all-time high. Like it was probably obviously the hype was way bigger for the second one, because for the first one, no one knew what it was yet. They had all the build of the first one and all the word of mouth and whatever. So they could have just cashed in and done an easy money grab, but they actually did a really good job, which is something you don't really see in Hollywood
And
much nowadays. It's like the opposite now. Just any franchise, let's just throw out more content because we own this IP.
I always said Back to the Future 2 is like the anti Austin Powers. It's just, you know how they put fan service in, like things you want to see, catchphrases, but they did it in a way that's coherent to the story. Like he wakes up in the bed. Oh, it's my mother. Oh, I had this crazy dream. Oh, mom, I'm so glad to see you. And no, she's still there and she's still in love with him. Well, now they did that in the future, but now she's, Biff's wife. What the fuck? And then they did it in part 3, and now he wakes up and now it's his, great, 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 great maternal grandmother. So like that's doing fan service, but you made it matter to the movie. I would say Back to the Future 2 is the best one of the 3, and also the best sequel ever made. I think I challenge anybody to tell me what's a better sequel than Back to the Future 2.
Godfather 2.
Great movie, but didn't.
I like the
enjoy
first
it.
one better.
I think I
Yeah.
like the second one better, but I don't know that I like it that much more than the second Back to the Future. I'm just trying to think of one like sequels that people put up there with the original.
The closest one I would put up there with Back to the Future 2 is Die Hard 3, which is the one with Samuel L. Jackson and
That's a
Jeremy
good one.
Irons, where they go around New York City.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to rewatch that. It's been a long
Yes,
time since I
yeah.
seen it.
What about
Solving
Final
puzzles.
Destination Part 7?
Which one is 7? I know you're kidding, but I'm trying to think now. Which one's 7? Because
I
I think 4 or 5 of those movies are just fucking top notch, and a
I've
couple
never
of them
seen
are
a single one of those.
A couple of them are just fucking stupid. I don't know how
the
they
first
actually-
few were fun.
Yeah, the one with the roller coaster is fucking. They
Yeah.
rebooted the franchise so well with that one. I love that one.
Wow.
But it's really the same movie, over and over. But it's supposed to be dumb, and I turn my brain off, and it's fun. It's about the traps. It's about
Have you
lore.
guys seen any Fast and Furious movies? I've never
Yeah.
seen a single one.
No, I have
I
not.
saw the first one in the theater, and I usually eventually get around to watching the other ones. I don't think I've seen all of them though.
Is it good?
No, I mean it's like it's just a dumb. Well, they want the first few really I think the first 2 I would say emphasize the car racing stuff, and now it's not that anymore. Like there are cars in it, but it's like
They're like in
Just-
outer space shooting torpedoes at sharks and shit, right?
I think
It's
it's
an
just
action
transformed.
movie.
It transformed into an action franchise, and that's when I feel like people started like being like, "No." When the first one came out, I'm like, "This is stupid. I'm not going to give this the time of day." And then, like by the third or fourth one, maybe the one when The Rock joined, people were like, "No, you don't get like, yeah, it's dumb, but it's like the best dumb action movie you'll see." And it's like, okay, I'm still not going to watch it.
it's the closest 2020s thing there is to a Steven Seagal movie in 1989.
Wow.
They just
Interesting.
don't
Okay.
make that kind of stuff anymore. And
Yeah.
that's made with a huge budget and Hollywood, financing and all that.
That's what that movie that Stallone did, The Untouchables, was it? Or
Expendables.
The Expendables. That's what that
Untouchables
felt
is
like,
another
but,
great movie.
but bad. Yeah, I didn't like the Expendables.
Really, you didn't like the Expendables? I love the one and two. I haven't seen the third one yet.
Oh, I didn't realize there was a third one.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know
I just
what
watched
there
the first
is?
one.
I'm gonna hip you to this. Did you ever see The Escape Plan?
No.
It's a movie with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger. The first time they were ever in a movie together. They're both like 60 something, and they play these two. Like Sylvester Stallone is an investigator, like a fraud investigator, investigating a jail, and they don't want him investigating or whatever, so they throw him in the jail, like this maximum security thing, and he has to get out, and Arnold helps him get out. But I learned the other day that there's been like 3 sequels to this fucking thing. Like I had
With
no
both
idea.
of them still in it, or other people?
They're both still in it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and but like this came out in 2010. It was in the theaters. The first one made a good amount of money, but they made 3 direct to DVD sequels, which
wow.
I have got to see now. How do you make 3 sequels out of that premise?
Yeah, like he's got the worst luck. He keeps just accidentally getting locked up in other jails, and Schwarzenegger just happens to be also in all of them.
I have no idea what they're about. I literally just learned that this has been remade like 3 times.
Wow, interesting.
It's a good movie. The first one is really good. I think it was 2010, 2012, but it feels like a legit like 1987 like Sylvester Stallone movie. It's very good, very like over the top, like lots of explosions and one line.
The Top is a different movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie too. That's a really bad good movie.
That's a
It's
good,
weird
like B or
premise.
C movie.
Yeah, and it's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb, over the top. It's like
It's weird, you know, like for me, it's so obviously that movie was released in theaters, but I have this whole genre of movies where, like, to me, they're just like a Saturday afternoon on the local
Channel 11.
on the local channel. Yeah, WPIX. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, there's so many movies that I've seen that I have a love for that I've only seen on like a Saturday or Sunday afternoon.
The Last Dragon. Bruce Leroy?
Classic.
Missing in Action series with Chuck Norris.
Oh my god.
That was
Iron
always
Eagle.
on-
Yeah,
One and
all the Charles Bronson movies.
Mhm.
Those are always on Channel 11 constantly.
Yeah, so
You know
it's
where you'll
like-
see a lot of those, by the way, nowadays on broadcast television, they're on the Spanish stations.
Huh.
If you go by Telemundo, they're always, once in a while, they have a Chuck Norris movie in Spanish.
Interesting. If only they knew how he felt about them.
Oh, does he? Has he said something?
Isn't
Or
he
just-
like super Trumpy Republican dude? I believe.
Yeah, but I was wondering if he actually did say something racist, or
I'm
if he knows
I'm
better.
sure if you dig through, there's probably something where he like kicked a Mexican person one time or something. Probably did something bad.
I want to hop into our chat. Uncle Gianna writes, all 3 Matrix movies are great on their own, and he ranks first, third, and then second in that order. He ranks the third one over the second one.
Oh, I'm shocked by that.
And Gianna adds that all Back to the Futures are timeless, and he ranks them second, first, and third.
I agree with that order.
Wait,
I'm
Back
good
to
with
the
that.
Future? Yeah, I would agree with that too. Although I like the third one. I don't want to disparage it too much, but it's
But
not
less
just
than the first 2.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree. They had to resolve it, and the resolution is kind of cheesy, but it's hard to wrap up an epic movie.
It's
series.
crazy that they've never like continued that story or rebooted it or anything. Like of all the franchises, you'd think that one would be one of the first ones they'd dig back into.
Well, they never made a Hollywood movie out of it, but they made some other media. Like they made a cartoon series. I don't know if you remember. that.
Yeah, they definitely milked the brand, the
But they-
IP.
I mean, you know, I say this, and I'm sure like in 2 weeks we'll see something about like Disney Plus is putting out a new trilogy of Back to the Futures. They've CG'd Michael J. Fox, and all
Well, it's
sorts of-
Universal that owns it. It's NBC
Oh, okay.
Universal.
Sorry,
It's
all right,
Disney.
Peacock.
It's Disney, so they're probably like taking out the Goldie Wilson's unflattering portrayal of the black person as the mayor.
Yeah.
They're taking out that racist Chuck Berry scene that the
Oh,
white
Ma-
that the white savior
It's your
creates rock and
cousin,
roll.
Yeah.
Marvin Berry. Yeah, that is that's actually something that I could see them taking out because that is kind of fucked up. Like this fucking pimple-faced 17-year-old
Yeah.
white kid actually invented black music. Like
By
fuck you.
stealing it from the black guy.
Right.
Like,
The
it's
black
not like
guy
he
invented it.
But he
Yeah,
didn't want
he's-
credit.
Well,
He didn't
that's
ask
like
for royalties. It's just just happenstance.
Imagine he gets Back to the Future and he's got a bank account set up with just royalties to
Oh, motherfucker.
the Calvin Klein though, so you can't get it.
That's how Calvin Klein started his empire.
Thank you. Look
By
at this
chance.
fan fiction.
There we go.
Beautiful thing.
Speak
It's
this
like
movie.
You know, that's like the compass in Lost. Do you remember that thing in Lost when Locke goes back in time and Richard gives him a compass, and then he goes into the future and gives Richard the compass, and they keep. It's like the compass never had any origin.
Yeah,
because it just goes back and forth. Like that's the same thing. He invented rock and roll. Chuck Berry does it. He learns it from Chuck Berry. Chuck Berry teaches it to him. He goes back in time and teaches it to Chuck Berry.
and never in any of those scenarios does Chuck Berry kiss that prostitute on the mouth.
No. Well,
She got piss on her face.
thank you. Exactly. But you put it there. Shut up.
Every time he puts it there, every time she wants a kiss, every
I
time he turns her down.
I keep forgetting to make a drop of that. I gotta have that for next week.
That woman is like the Sisyphus of sex workers.
Literally. Sissy puss.
Oh my God.
Isn't that where Tom Carvel? He's like, hey, this is your cousin Marvin Carvel. I got a great. You know that cake you've been looking for? Well, look at this.
Somehow, camera phones are also.
Although he had the Beastie Boys EP that he showed him.
Oh, okay.
Monkey Puss.
All right.
Whew.
Well, it's been a laugh, gentlemen.
Hasn't it?
Wow, is it really 7:30 almost? Jesus.
Yeah.
That flew.
You have the flu? Are you okay?
Oh
I'm
no.
good. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
I said the time flu, Rob.
Oh, the time. Time needs to take a nap.
I have the time flu. You know, I haven't gotten like sick. Largely, like I would probably get little sniffles like 2-3 times a year. I hardly get that now because of the mask wearing.
Same. Whenever there's a season change prior to the pandemic, I would always get like a small cold.
Same.
Just to usher in the season. But I think because of the masking, I've avoided it.
Yeah.
This whole time, these last 18 months, I haven't had one of those seasons. Like it's a spring fall situation. Now I probably jinxed it, and tomorrow I'm gonna wake up. But yeah, no, it's been all right, and hopefully you're doing all right in your part of the world. Okay.
I want to send some well wishes to Dusty Rhodes Muffler.
Yes.
Who announced that he had COVID in our chat.
Oh,
yeah.
Best wishes, Dusty Rhodes Muffler. May there be plenty of chicken noodle soup in your immediate future.
Yeah, get well soon. He's a great poster. Has so many links, funny links all the time in our chat, and he's a very funny guy.
And also, we'll pull out a deep reference to an episode from like 9 years ago.
Yeah, he's like a walking encyclopedia
legend.
Britannica of our show. So feel better.
Well, while we're doing shout outs, maybe it's time to shout out our top live
We got to do our
bands.
playlist songs.
Oh,
Almost forgot.
Oh, yes. Every week we do a Spotify playlist. We call it the Metal Injection Livecast Music Break. You listen for free on Spotify. That way we don't inject the songs into our podcast, get a copyright strike. You don't want that. You don't want that. So this week I picked a song from the Night Flight Orchestra. And I've been loving this band. Sid, I don't think it's your jam, but Darren, I think you might really enjoy this. It's the singer of Soilwork and a bunch of other guys in a bunch of Swedish metal bands. They started a AOR. What's the adult oriented rock? Like it's like a 80s rock band, like a synth 80s, like it's like power rock,
Like
and it's
Europe or something like that.
Kind of, yeah, like in that kind of cheesy in the best way. I'm not knocking this. Like I am obsessed with this album. It's so catchy. It's not metal. It's rock. And like it has like a really powerful, like kind of like how like Pat Benatar rocks, but it's not like super heavy.
Yeah.
Not that this is Pat Benatar, but in its own way, it's like in that vein. And the songs are so catchy. I've been listening to this album all week. The album is Aromantic 2, and I picked my favorite track off of I'm not. Which one did I give you, Sid? Was it Amber Through a Window?
I think so, yes. And is
Yeah,
that
and that
about
hook-
when the lead singer was peeping in on a woman named Amber as she showered?
Through a window. Yes,
rest
and
of that,
the hooks are so good; they get stuck in my head. So that's my pick.
That's my speed right there. I like, and I like Soil Work too. So
Yeah, the singer Bjorn Speed Stride is a fantastic vocalist, and he really shows off his crooning ability in this band.
cool. Check it out.
Sid, what did you pick?
I picked the song Down in the Hole by Tom Waits in honor of Michael K. Williams, who passed away yesterday. It was the theme song to The Wire, one of my top 2 TV shows of all time, top 2 drama shows of all time. And yeah, Michael K. Williams was probably my favorite part of that show, and he will be missed. He was my favorite part of like every fucking show he was ever on. He was fucking fantastic. And
That's what's so wild. Like, he
Horrible.
obviously, Omar in The Wire, easily one of the most iconic characters in the history of television. Like, before Omar, there was no masculine gay character on a drama, not played for played completely straight.
Yeah,
played
no pun
realistically.
intended. Realistically, yeah. And also just it was such a layered character. It was amazing. But then beyond that, he was great on Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah.
He was great on
Night of.
Lovecraft Country, Night of.
Play-
Yeah,
he
he's had
plays
so many
another-
great roles.
I'm sorry, he plays another gay character on Lovecraft
Yeah.
Country too.
Oh, that's right.
Although he's in the closet in that one, but it's like 1930, so
Yeah.
understandable.
Emmy's coming up in a couple weeks, and he was nominated for that role. We'll see if he it's a nice tear-jerking posthumous award coronation, because he's never won an Emmy
Are those
somehow.
decided before he died, or how
Probably,
far
yeah,
out?
but still.
I think it's the voting is still open because
Oh, really this late?
when I was in LA, there were still billboards to consider shows,
Mm.
like to vote for shows.
But I'm not even saying that I hope people give it to him because he died.
Mhm.
I'm saying he
Right.
deserves it anyway, and it would be nice.
Yeah.
It'd be sad that he had to happen a couple weeks after he died, but deserving nonetheless. He was never nominated for The Wire or for Boardwalk Empire.
It's ridiculous that he was never. Well, The Wire in general was never always shut out. Like,
I think it
even in
got
its last
one
season.
script writing nomination, and that might be it that it ever got.
Absurd,
Mhm.
Weird.
but
All right.
whatever. Darren, what did you pick?
I picked Royal Jelly, which is a song from the Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story movie with John C.
I gotta
Riley.
watch that.
Did you watch it, Rob?
Oh, it's one of the best. Yeah, I was saying I want to rewatch it. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Fantastic movie. And this is a part of the movie where he's trying to basically become Bob Dylan. Like, he's trying to imitate Bob Dylan. So it's like a Bob Dylan ripoff song, basically, but
Nice.
nonsensical lyrics. It's really funny.
That might be the best Judd Apatow movie he's ever made. I think.
Wow.
In terms of Judd, I feel like with Judd Apatow movies lately, like the last kind of 4 or 5 of them, there's like I kind of lose interest halfway through. But
Well,
this
they're
one
all
I
way
was in
too
from-
long. They're all like
Yeah.
45 minutes to an hour too long, and the middle part is always like endless.
This one, beginning to end, I was hooked, and I think it was such an original concept at the time. And again, I'm a very big Judd Apatow fan. I love a lot of those movies, but I think that might have been the best one.
Sure, I can see that. I mean, nothing's jumping to mind that is definitely better, right?
Well, Pineapple Express. Yeah, no.
But
I guess
which
he
of
did-
those are directed by him and which are only produced by him? Like, did he direct all of these?
I believe he directed Pineapple Express.
No,
He
I don't
definitely
think
directed
so.
Dewey Cox.
I don't think he directed Pineapple Express. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. I think that's purely he wrote that.
Let's quickly take a look at his IMDb.
Pineapple Express, directed by David Gordon Green.
Oh, okay.
Judd Apatow did the story for that one.
He hasn't directed all that many movies, right? He's
Yeah,
mainly
less
the writer
lately.
guy.
And he wrote Walk Hard, but did not direct it. Directed by Jake Kasdan.
Oh, okay.
I know he
Wow.
directed the 40-Year-Old Virgin, which I was not
Yeah.
a big fan of.
That was
Yeah, I
fine.
always felt it was not bad, but I always thought like people liked it way more than I
Yeah.
thought it was good.
Anchorman? He did Anchorman, right? He directed Anchorman.
Did he? No.
Did he direct or produce it?
That's the guy that directed Austin Powers did that. I think Jay Roach.
Jay Roach.
I think. Don't quote me on that.
So he directed 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked
Oh,
Up,
Adam McKay directed Anchorman.
Adam McKay.
Duh.
Right. Sorry.
Shame on me.
But
Funny People.
yeah, that's
This is 40. Trainwreck.
Trainwreck was good.
Yeah, I like Trainwreck a lot. King of Staten Island.
Not really a comedy. I refuse to watch Pete Davidson in anything.
Oh. Did you not watch Suicide Squad? He's in that for like 3 minutes.
The new one?
Yeah.
I did not watch the new one.
Oh, so good. Not because of
I
Pete
heard.
Davidson. He
I
just
know.
like randomly is in it, but fantastic film.
He has a writing credit. Apatow has a writing credit on You Don't Mess with the Zohan. That's great.
Well, he's Adam Sandler's boy, so of course.
Yeah. That movie I think is a little underrated. It's not the best movie, but it definitely had a lot of good farcical laughs in it.
Too much of that accent. Like, even in a comedic setting, I
so
can't deal with
fucking
too much
funny.
of so much of that accent.
Robert Zweigel is killing it. I loved it. All right. Well, let's get to our top Livecast fans of the week. To be a top Livecast fan of the week, you hit up our Patreon at the $10 tier, patreon.com/Metal Injection Livecast. You get all the access you get at the $5 tier with the bonus episodes, the video version, and you get a shout out. A little shout out at the end of the show. A little shout out. How should we do? I'm going to keep doing this voice for the shout outs. I want to give a big shout out to Eric. And of course, Robert Ganoush, aka Justin, big shout out. Benjamin, El Judarino, Dan R, and Croc Destroyer. I want to give you guys a shout out. Ham I is. I can go for some ham. Jander, Shasuishissusits, the Crustacean Sensation, aka Got Stompa, Dallas, Rob Vampiro, Hugo Likes Tacos, Land Danks, LaCroix, Doug Pigman.
I should just like Vince McMahon all of a sudden.
Doug Pigman.
You're fired.
Scooby-Doo 182. And Douglas, who are you, Levison? And finally, hi guys, it's Josh. I want to thank our top Livecast fans of the week. I want to thank all of the Livecast stars, all of you listening and for supporting us. We love you so much. We give you love and kisses. We'll be back next Tuesday, and hope you can join us.
And remember, Zoom Hang, Sunday the 12th.
This
5
Sunday,
p.m.
hang out with us. We'll have the link on our Patreon and join our Discord. We'll throw the link in there too for you.
Yeah.
Come hang out.
And bring your
Come
own
hang out with
meme.
us.
Yes.
And to be clear, to join the Zoom hang, you don't have to have your video on. We love it.
Yeah.
You could just join. You could mute yourself. You could just hang out. You could be a voyeur. Party with us.
You can do it in your foyer.
Be a voyeur in your foyer.
And I believe Noah will be joining us for this.
Yes.
So it'll be the full Livecast crew. We hope you can join us this Sunday.
You can watch some
I feel-
Erica Boya with
All
Vern
right.
Troyer.
Oh, no.
Oh, you can't watch with him now.
R.I.P. a legend. R.I.P. a little legend.